Considering these are the people that are making literal discs of fun, a 100-hour work week, or whatever ridiculous target hangs over the Rockstar employees, can make the whole creating a game exercise a big dose of all work and no play makes developers dull boys. Whilst this is remedied somewhat by sticking in ridiculous Easter eggs, from secret rooms to giant floating rabbits in the middle of the ocean, it's still the studios that get the glory with the best game releases. Or at least, for the most part it is. These creators, developers, and video games workers decided they'd had enough and slapped their very own faces onto their creations, offering up interesting discoveries, insane boss fights, and novelty moments that celebrate the individuals behind some of our favourite games. Let's be fair, if there's chance to stick your face on a hot dog, then hot damn, you've got to take it. Editor, please. If there is anything less on your screen than me dancing around as a giant wiener, then all I can say is sorry. So type in your cheat codes and get ready for some cameos, as I'm Ash from WhatCulture, and these are 10 unbelievable ways creators hid themselves in video games. 10. Scott Cawthon, Five Nights at Freddy's. Creating a game about evil animatronics running rampant and stuffing humans into deadly furry suits, you've got to give Scott Cawthon originality at least. The main mind behind survival CCTV horror Five Nights at Freddy's managed to worm his way into the franchise as Phone Guy, that nonchalant voice you hear as an answering machine message at the start of the game warning you about how other security guards have died or other such nonsense, and that you're next on the try not to get peeled like a human banana list.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Honestly, why anyone takes this job in the first place is the biggest mystery, apart from maybe the murderous robots that entertain at children's parties, but let's just not go into that. But yes, Scott Cawthon appears in the first 3 games as the Phone Guy, and crops up in the 4th with his recording playing backwards as ambient sound, which isn't creepy at all, of course. Considering Cawthon got 8 games released, the most recent being this year, as well as 3 companion books and a number of other media under the title, his little voice cameo is one of the most permeating of an indie franchise. 9. Toby Fox, UNDERTALE. If anyone knows how to make a cameo, it is Toby Fox, appearing throughout both his seminal 2015 work UNDERTALE and the follow-up game Deltarune as a dog. Not just any canine friend, however, but the one and only affectionately named Annoying Dog. Featuring as a little white pup with a snarky smile and a bad habit of ruining everything whenever he crops up, the dog himself identifies as an extension of games developer and composer Mr. Fox, which, feels strange to say as you'd think his name would lend itself to another furry creature, but who are we to judge? Annoying Dog is a staple of Undertale's narrative, as well as a creature that crops up to warn you of any corrupted save files or alterations that have set your game out of whack. Whilst many have debated whether he is in fact a Samoyed, game files have revealed Annoying Dog is truly a Pomeranian, which might not be important to many, but goddamn, it matters. Toby Fox's secret doggo cameo also extends to unique ending screens for completing the game a certain way, as well as his minor encounters. All in all, he's a very good boy. 8. Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear Solid. The creator of the Metal Gear franchise, Hideo Kojima, has ham-fisted his way into games since Metal Gear Solid in 1998. Whilst many know his name from the work he's done in the games industry, he's also famous for his face, incorporating it into his titles as an Easter egg and later a character that can even be recruited into your team. Kojima first appeared as a voice in MGS, only available to hear if his other previously produced games, which are Policenauts and Snatcher, had a save file on the PlayStation the player was using, which is one way of getting that sweet dollar from his other titles at the very least. Gotta make the peace somehow, my guys. From then, he revealed himself as a spooky ghost in a painting that emerges once you take a picture, as a name on a dog tag, and in a cartoon, thoroughly smearing himself over every aspect of his property like a healthy dose of peanut butter, but far less sickly. God bless the man that bought a Solid Snake. 7. John Romero, Doom 2. The ultimate in run-and-gun gameplay, Doom's sequel, the inventively titled Doom 2, has a little secret lurking in its endgame. Coming at the final stage of map 30 is the big bad boss, affectionately named Icon of Sin in a mimic of the level tagline, who needs to take a rocket launcher to the face to be defeated. Only it isn't the Icon of Sin that's suffering a beating, it's developer John Romero's head on a pike sitting pretty on the inside. Approaching the Icon of Sin plays a distorted dialogue clip. But instead of a creepy string of noise, it's actually the exact advice you need to complete the level successfully. To win the game, you must kill me, John Romero. Well, gee, thanks, John Romero. Now take this rocket to the bonce and give me my stats. You can only access his bleeding, decapitated noggin if you apply a cheat code, but it's well worth it to watch the id programmer and founder in his full Oliver Cromwell-inspired glory. 6. Emil Paglarulo, Fallout 4. One of the rare instances of being an actual in-game character, Bethesda Studios' own Emil Paglarulo took a leaf out of Hideo Kojima's book and milked his role as lead designer and writer of Fallout 4 for all it was worth, writing himself in as an NPC that lurks around the South Boston police precinct and sells a charge card. The credit card is all but worthless in reality, with only one merchant willing to redeem it for some bottle cap change, so all in all, Parker's a bit of a shifty prick.
Awesome, I'll take your money and you get the charge card, retard.
The character can be used as a settler, but can't have his limbs blown off, unfortunately. And if you choose to kill him, no one minds or judges you for it, which is nice enough, all things considered. Paglarulo seems to have a great sense of humour, at least, with his dishevelled wastelander mirroring this, as well as his appearance, in good faith. 5. Will Wright, SPORE. SPORE, the game that simulates life from its earliest stages to its latest, sees players evolving life forms through 5 main stages of interaction, nurturing it or resorting to all-out destruction if that's your cup of tea. Designed by Will Wright with 7 years of production under its belt, SPORE released in 2008 to plenty of commendation, with one little secret lurking in the depths soon discovered by intrepid explorers of all things evolutionary. Apparently, clicking around on the main menu and generally jabbing at the galaxy that serves as a background can make it spin. Get enough momentum on that bad boy and a giant, bemused Will Wright head emerges from the centre, looks at you a bit, and then fades into his nebulous hole once more. If you ever wondered if God was watching and needed comfort in your life, Wright is all the evidence needed for a neat reminder there's a giant head up there looking down on us all. Aww. Well, either that or there's some giant floating head space monster waiting for the right moment to unleash peril on the galaxy. 4. Hot Dog Guy, Sly Raccoon. And now we come to the most important and arguably best moment of shoehorning oneself into a video game. If you look closely whilst trying not to smash your controller through the screen on the first racing level of Sly Raccoon, the centre of the At the Dog Track course has a lovely statue of a hot dog being wild and free as indication of a snack stall underneath. Take a look at the top of the hot dog, however, and a face becomes visible, slapped on in a rough cut oval and looking incredibly pleased with himself. Who is this mysterious sausage man, I hear you cry? Well, I have no idea. He's simply an employee of production company Sucker Punch who managed to make his face a meaty treat. We might not know his name, but we do know his legacy. The wiener effigy is the only real Easter egg in the first Sly Raccoon game, with more developer images appearing throughout the later series, making him not just a pork prodigy or an oblong original, but a tasty trendsetter too. 3. Coffee Stain Studios, Goat Simulator. In perhaps the most meta cameo possible, Coffee Stain Studios, the strange bunch of people that brought the Goat Simulator game into the world, as well as a whole load of other ruminant mammal-based add-ons, brought their own studio to life within their flagship sim game, as well as using all their own names on the NPC models. If you go behind an empty greenhouse near the Helvet sign, you'll come across a studio house, full of items to headbutt, lick, and generally wreak goaty havoc on to your heart's content. Also in the in-game studio, however, is a host of game developers working on the very Goat Simulator you're currently smashing your way through. Wait, what? Does that mean there's another Goat Simulator within this game world being created? Is there a Coffee Stain Studios inside of this Coffee Stain Studios computer? Are we stuck in a never-ending loop of goats and pixels and spiraling levels of reality until we hit the quantum realm of goat inception? Someone please think of the children! There's also a lovely Flappy Bird spoof in the form of, yes, you guessed it, Flappy Goat, which opens a whole new world of questions, but that's just best left alone, really. 2. Stan Lee, Spider-Man. Losing the greatest mind in comic book and indeed wider pop culture's history is a terribly sad moment for lovers of entertainment the world over. However, Stan Lee, being the fantastic man that he was, prepared for his legacy to live on, appearing in cameo forms throughout his works both on screen and off, with the latest Spider-Man game holding one of the most heartwarming. that this can be revisited time and time again is a bittersweet landmark in the game's canon, a reminder of all the little things Lee offered amongst the huge. When Peter Parker meets up briefly with MJ, a conversation unfolds about their relationship, cut short by Parker's need to follow the police passing by the restaurant. As MJ collects herself to leave, the short order cook makes a passing comment of "Love seeing you two together again. You were always my favourites." And of course, it's revealed as the camera pans out that it's no other than Stan Lee himself. It's a pure reminder of the love he put into his ongoing works and the kindness of his character. 1. Gabe Newell, Half-Life. The creator of one of the most beloved first-person shooters of all time, as well as the man single-handedly wafting off death threats for the third installment of the series ever since Episode 2, Gabe Newell is one of the most famous, or perhaps infamous, names in gaming. Half-Life has long been his masterpiece, and it's not just for the gameplay. Simultaneously terrifying, as well as just peak games developer banter, Newell decided to craft a room entirely made up of tiles of his face hidden at the bottom of an elevator shaft. You have to load up some cheats for it to appear before plunging yourself into the chute of darkness, clipping through the lowest level to land in a room of smiling, fleshy Gabe cubes. You'll only know that though if you turn on your flashlight, adding some real horror movie vibes to the whole thing. Maybe this is what going insane is like. The padded walls are a lie, it's just Gabe Newell's face over and over and over and over again. Oh god! And that's our list. What weird gaming developer faces have you seen watching you through the pixels? Maybe report it, but also share your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the WhatCulture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching.